Hey guys, so as I mentioned in the previous video, we're going to add weapon trails to our infused weapons, and then we're also going to fix it so it works on the offhand, and we'll see if we have a little bit more time to actually create the ability. So let's just start. First thing we're going to do is create the material, and we should already have the textures that we created in the previous video, and those are these ones: Fire Distortion, Fire Texture 1 and Fire Texture 2. So if you don't have them, just watch the previous video. And then we're going to go to materials and here create new one. And this one will be weapon trail underscore M, or weapon trail fire underscore M. This one I found online specifically for fire, but I think it will work fine as well on the different weapon types. We will just be able to duplicate it and maybe change the material a little bit. So open it up. And first thing, we need to select it, change it from opaque to translucent, and shading model to unlit. So we're only left with emissive color and opacity. And then we're going to do again particle color. I'm not going to explain every single node in the materials. I don't really do that, and they're quite complex. But if you like, you can later break it down yourself and see what does what. Let's just make it quickly. So from RGB color, we're going to go to lerp, which is linear interpolate. And then from this lerp, we're going to multiply. You can search for it, or you can hold M and click. And then this multiply will be our emissive color. We need to add dynamic parameter. Here, change this color to red. And then we're going to drag from one of these colors and append many. So we're going to make just one color from this. So connect these three, RGB, and then from RGB we're going to go to B value. For the alpha, we're going to add texture coordinate, which will be index 1, and then we're going to do panner, which will move the texture, and we want to move it on X -2. So now when we add the texture, so go to textures and add the fire texture 1, connect it to UVs. And then if you don't see it move, you go to live update and just check these real-time nodes. You can see it is now moving. And from the texture sample, we're going to connect this R value to alpha, and then we need to add the second texture, and what we're going to do is multiply this first R, so multiply with the second R, and that will go to opacity here. Alright, we're just missing this one multiply, and that needs to go from this second texture R to this one B here. All right, then this is not finished. We need to do some more calculations down here. So from the texture sample, first we're going to get one more texture coordinate. After that, we will get two add nodes. So add, and we can copy it and add another one. And after, we need to do scale UV by center. Scale UVs by center, and that will all go to UVs of this texture. And then from down here we need to append vector. Don't worry about the error for now. We need some values, so hold 1 on the keyboard and click, or you can search for material expression constant. This one will change the value to 1. Copy and duplicate it, and this one will be 0.75, and connect it to A and B. Then from this first add, what we need to do is do one more texture coordinate, which we can just copy it. This one will be 1, and we're going to do one more panner. This time we're going to move the texture on Y, so just put 1 in here. And the texture will be our fire distortion, so the last one that we have made. And as you can see, that moves as well now. But what we want to do is from R value, we're going to subtract subtract, and we're going to subtract 0.5, and then we're going to multiply it by 0.2. And this now we can plug to this first add, and then for the second add we will need dynamic parameter, then we will change the color to black. We only need some value from this. You can change the index to first one, and then from this value we're going to drag from the red and again append vector, and then get one of these values nodes, copy it and add it to B, and then that will go to this add. Apply and save, and this is our fire texture done. This one, if it's not moving, it should. Sometimes you just need to disconnect it, but it should be fine anyway. And as you can see, we got these moving textures. This one looks like a flame flickering, and this one just will be moving slightly. So I haven't made this texture, I found it online. There will be a link in the description for original video. And after you have done this, let's create the Niagara system. So let's go to Effects, right click, Niagara system, create empty Niagara system, and this one will be weapon trail underscore fire. And again, we can reuse it for different ones. Either we will duplicate it, or maybe we can even call it base, and then we'll change the color manually, because we'll be able to do that. So I'll see what's best. For now, let's just open it up. We're going to right click, add emitter, and here select add minimal Niagara emitter. We just had some basic nodes. First thing we need to do is change the sprite renderer, so delete it, and add ribbon renderer. So on ribbon renderer, we're going to change the material to the one we created, which is weapon trail fire material. And then for emitter update, let's go to lifecycle mode. We will do self, we will do once, and here we will do fixed duration of 10. And then the reason for that is because we'll be spawning only one ribbon, and that will basically create a trail behind it. So we only ever spawning one, but if you leave loop duration to 1 second, after 1 second it disappears. And if you have an attack that is longer than 1 second, you won't be weapon trailing anymore. But this way, we will just start it when we start the line trace as well, and then we will end it when we end the attack and destroy it anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's higher loop duration. So it needs to be at least like 10. And then here we're going to add one more thing, which is in emitter update, and that is spawn per frame. Spawn per frame, and this will give us just a little bit warning. Dismiss it, it's fine. We'll just leave it at spawn count 1. And then particle spawn, we need to change the color. Lifetime here can be 0.5 seconds. And in what is the color? Am I being stupid? Color modes. Oh, so I have it selected. Alright, so I like to do random range, but you can also do one from the curve. So if you do one from the curve, you can change over time as well, and it will look a little bit like more like a fire, but I like to do the random range, and I'll do one for like really almost red color, orange red, and change V to 20, and then one which will be kind of like yellow, and again V20. So between these two values, and channel mode is the same. Here what we need to change is ribbon width. So this will be how wide it will be, that effect, and we will set it manually by variable from the weapon length. So we're going to change this to direct set, and then here we're going to select lerp float. So now it will give us width between A and B. So if we were to set it 100, this would be 1 meter, and so on. So what we want to do is we're going to create new user parameter. Yeah. So here we're going to click on plus icon, make new, and what we need to make is float. And this will be weapon weapon length. Let's do weapon length. Weapon length. I'm going to just move it so I can see the whole of it. And then we're going to move it on top of the B. A is fine to be 0 because we only need to change B to resize it. And then alpha, change it to 1. Alright, so that's for the width of the weapon. We can now use this parameter to set it manually when we spawn it. And one more thing we need to do, we need to change the facing, because this will be just spawned randomly attached to component. We want to also, you know, face the direction of the weapon. So for that, we need to do something a little bit more complex. We will go to local modules, and we're going to create a module. Or, even better, you can do it this way, or we can just go directly to particle update. And here do new scratchpad module. That's what they are called, the modules. So new scratchpad, and it kind of works like an event graph. And this one we will call weapon orientation. Weapon orientation. We're going to add this plus icon. Can't click on it. And this one will be system local to world. And if you read the description, what this does is owning component local space to world space transform matrix. So it will get the component we are attaching it to, which will be the weapon start of the main hand weapon or the offhand. And it will give us the transform from it. So then we will click one more plus here. We'll add a vector, just regular vector. And this one will be, we can call it orientation. Orientation, and then from the system local to world, we're going to do vector transform, but not this regular transform vector. We need to search for matrix. So matrix transform vector, and then connect this one here. It will give us vector, and then we can add this plus icon here, and these are the variables from the Niagara system. So we're going to search for ribbon facing. So which way the ribbon is facing, and this will be the facing direction. Compile and save, apply scratch and all that stuff. Let's go back to system, and now we do have this weapon orientation, as you can see, as a vector. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the Z value to 1, and that way it will go up on the Z axis. And the reason why we're changing it on a Z, let me just quickly show you. You don't have to do this part. Let me just open Iron Sword, for example. And then if I go to viewport and select weapon start, where we're going to attach it to the weapon, you can see the blue value, which is Z on this gizmo, is facing where the weapon top is. So that's why we're changing it to 1. It will go this direction based on the width of the ribbon that we will set. So if you have a different facing weapon, obviously you need to check which gizmo it is facing. It shouldn't be, because your weapon should always go for like upwards. It is base. It's a good base and good habit to actually set it that way for all of the weapons. And now back in the weapon trail, we have set it here, but we also need to set it in ribbon renderer. So facing mode, we will do custom side vector, which will take that value that we have set in the module. And then I think that's pretty much it. Let me just quickly check. Fixed once, spawn count, state. I think it should be all right. Now, what we need to do is first I'm going to go to, I don't have player open, and then combat component. And the way we're going to set up the weapon trail is if we apply that condition that will infuse our weapon with fire, we will set variable here in the combat component to tell us that we are actually supposed to weapon trail. And then simple as that, we'll just get validity of that variable, and if it's valid, we will do weapon trail, same way that we're doing the line trace. And if it's not valid, we won't do anything. So very simple setup. We're going to do variable, and this is weapon, or should we do, yeah, weapon trail system. Weapon trail system, and this will be Niagara system system, Niagara system, object reference. And so now let's go to condition, which I also don't have open. So components and condition. And when we're setting this fire infusion, we will also from the combat component set weapon trail system. So when we activate the infusion, we'll set the weapon trail system. Here it will be fire weapon or weapon trail fire, whatever it is. So not infusion, that is what we're spawning here already. This is weapon trail. So now we have set it. And if we turn it off, we're going to, before this, drag from it and or do set again on false. And we're going to empty it. That way, when we turn on this buff, infuse fire, the combat component will have this valid. And if we turn it off, if the buff ends, it won't have it valid anymore. We need to connect it to combat component. Right, so now it's set up in a condition. Let's go to combat component. Here what we want to do is go to event graph. I'm going to close all the tabs. And on the bottom of the event graph, let's create a new custom event. And this one will be start weapon trail. So we have start weapon trace and start weapon trail. And we're going to get this weapon system trail, right click, convert to validated get. And now if it's valid, we're going to spawn system attached. And then in the spawn system attached, we need the attach point. We have main hand reference here. We can get start point, weapon start. Let's also get weapon end. And just connect weapon start as an attach to component. So that's where we're going to attach it. System will be this system that we have set. So later on we can just replace it with, I don't know, poison, lightning and stuff like that. And it will just spawn that system that it's supposed to. You can only have one at a time. Obviously you shouldn't be able to infuse weapon with multiple ones. So we will do also one video when we turn off the active one and replace it with the new one and stuff. So we are spawning it. Now what we need is when we spawn it, let me go to weapon again to explain it. When we're spawning, it's going to spawn on this point, start point. But then how the ribbon works is it's going to go from this location to the top and to the bottom because this is the middle spawning point. So we don't want that. What we want to do is we kind of want to move it to the middle of the weapon. And what we could do is just create one more of this weapon end, weapon start and do weapon middle. But that's just really complicated because we can just calculate the middle position from weapon start and weapon end. And the way we're going to do that is in combat component, we will do this get world location from both. We have done something similar in the actual infusion of the weapon. We'll do distance vector, and now we got distance between those 2 points. We're going to divide it by 2, and then this is the basically half point to the weapon, and we need to offset it on Z value by that. So from location, make vector, and this will be Z. So it will spawn it in the middle of the weapon. And now we also need to change the width of the weapon. So let's promote this to variable. This one will be weapon trail. We need to do main hand because we'll have an offhand reference as well separately. So weapon trail main hand reference. And then we need to set one of those variables, which is a float now. So from here, we're going to set Niagara variable, and don't do the string one, just do float. So set Niagara variable float. And this will be the name of the variable that we set up here. So user parameters is weapon length. I'm going to copy it just in case. And then paste it here. And then the weapon length will be basically distance between these 2 points. and set it. Quite nice and simple, I think. And now we just need to do stop weapon trail. So stop weapon trail. We don't have it. Custom event, add custom event, and stop weapon trail. And here we're going to get this variable here that we create from the system that is attached, which is weapon trail main hand reference. We're going to right click, convert to validated get again, and if it exists, so if we are trailing, we're going to destroy component. So as soon as we stop trailing, we destroy it. Now we just need to add it to our line trace. So let's go to line trace. Make sure you add it after stop line trace. So this will be here and start weapon trail. So every time we attack and we start the line trace, we will also start weapon trail. And then when we stop line trace, here in the end, we will stop weapon trail. And as I explained before, this basically won't do anything unless this component was set somehow, unless that system was set there. So if you don't have infused weapons, it won't do anything, it will just pass through that function. Compile and save. And now if we test it out, so let's pick up the weapon. I still have B as an infusion, so I press B, and now when I attack, there we go, I do have a weapon trail. I think it looks really good. I mean, some people already told me that the flame looks shit, so let's be honest, it's not really pretty, but I told you need to change it yourself. It is not something that I wanted to do on a thing, but like you can make it look better just by changing color, adding some velocity. Let me just quickly show you. So effects, where are we? Effects, weapon, infusion, fire. This one, just change one of these to like red, so it's a little bit more burning. Then you can, in particle update, you can add velocity. No, in a, I forgot where it is, in a spawn. Add velocity. Yeah, add velocity. Then you fix this issue. And then you can do like a random range vector, and it can go from 0, 0, 0 to 10, 10, 10, so it will move slightly and grow. And then also if you go to your material that we created, which is, what was it, weapon infusion, I told you to change this low res blurred noise. We can change it to any other noise or do a custom texture, see what works better for you. Can even do this default wind noise, or this one here. I'll do this one, T noise. Apply. And now apply the weapon burning. It's already look a little bit better like a flame because it's moving, and you can still change the color. So it's very easy to play with it. You just need to, you know, just need to change a few variables. So can't do everything. So now let's just fix it so it actually works on offhand quickly, and it's not going to be that difficult. So let's just do combat component, and here we only need to check if we have offhand equipped. So we'll do sequence from start weapon trail, and then second one we will get offhand. Or actually, you know what? Sequence can be after we check if the weapon trail is equipped, otherwise we will have to check it twice. So if it's valid, connect the sequence. First one will go here. Second one we need to get offhand. Right click, convert to validated get. So if it's set, we will do offhand trail as well, which will be, let's copy this part, the second part. It's valid. Delete this one. We're going to promote it to variable, and this one will be weapon trail offhand reference. We can't set it to same one obviously, because then we could only delete one of the systems. This one, weapon trail, we can connect, no, we need offhand. So copy this whole thing again, move this down, paste it, and then here we get offhand instead, connected to weapon start, weapon end. This one's going to location. I mean, we can move it down here. And distance going here of the offhand. And then when we stop, weapon trail. This time we need to do it in the beginning, so sequence. You know what, we could actually, let's just do it like this. So sequence, first one, then second one, get the weapon trail offhand, right click, convert to validated get, and if it's valid, we'll destroy that component. And that should be all. Compile and save. Now let's try it on the offhand as well. Pick up some weapons. Main hand, offhand. Press B. No, it does not work. But offhand should be set. Combat component. What have I done wrong? Sequence. It goes to that one. It goes to this one. Is offhand valid? System. Right. So system, we can get this variable again, which is weapon trail system. That one is the one we need to spawn. And I didn't do attach to component, which is weapon start from offhand. Let's see, big reveal, press B, still doesn't work. Why you don't like to work? Auto destroy component, we have offhand. Is offhand valid? It should be valid. Spawn system, weapon offhand. What could have happened is, I think I got an idea, but let me just check quickly here. Offhand, weapon length. I feel like I'm forgetting something here. System, weapon trail system. Attach point name, we don't have anything. If I don't check this and do weapon length variable 100, keep relative offset, that's fine. Why you don't want to work? Press B, still doesn't work. Oh my days, what am I doing? Of course, it's a weapon trail, not weapon infusion we're setting up. Okay, sorry, my bad. We were doing the weapon trail. So weapon trail works, as you can see from offhand. Stupid me. I was just playing with the different things here. Okay, so that was it. So we've set up the weapon trail. I wanted to do infusion, not the weapon trail. And we need to do that here in the condition. So let's do sequence. In the condition, and first one will be, sorry, after this, after we have set the infusion. This one, and then B, we need to get offhand. Here we need to right click, convert to validated get, and if it's valid, we're going to do this whole thing here. Weapon system is, we can set it manually because this is only for this certain buff. So weapon infusion fire. Location, we don't have anything, we're just setting the cylinder height here. So we need to again get this part, and this will go from offhand and cylinder height. And then also we don't want to promote it to same variable. We'll promote to variable, and this one will be fire infusion offhand. I'm just quickly doing this. We will change this to just general weapon infusion, because we will, as I said, we will only have one, so we don't need to create variable for each one. We'll change it, but for now it's getting very long, so I want to finish it. So this should be all. And now what I was thinking before that it was that I think I don't have the correct weapon start and weapon end set here. Or maybe I do. Ah no, so see, okay, so on my offhand I don't have weapon start and weapon end. I don't even know how I was line tracing in the videos before. So weapon start, weapon end. And now drum roll, press B, and it still doesn't work. Okay, so we're trailing, runtime error, read property, fire infusion, offhand. Okay, I didn't set the Niagara probably again. No, I did. Attach to component, I didn't set. So, weapon start of the offhand. Alright. Just kind of bored of it. I'm sorry it's taking so long. B, there we go. Fire infused weapons and the weapon trailing. Awesome. You can even do them with the abilities. Oh, check that out. So, if you people don't like this, I don't know what else you will, because I think this is awesome. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye. And in combat component, just don't forget to connect this back, because I disconnected it.